Okay.
It has all the internal pockets. It has bladders.
One more, the lowdown of the inner part of this pack for me.
All right. Inside portion, Mr. Ridge 3-day. You have built-in radio pouch if you're carrying a crew radio like 117 or URC 200. Pulls out. You can buckle it down in.
Viper 01.
Yep. And it also has a carriage, or we call it, or strap system to support it. It's all adjustable. You can tuck into this pocket right here.
Nice.
Out of the way. The newer model, you can go ahead and break all the Velcro and rip out the harness. It's internal bladder pouches on each side.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, right here. Also has round zip pockets. Pockets right here. They go all the way through.
Yeah.
Stuff. Zipping it up. You got your daisy chains on the outside.
They got that Hypalon cover, like the.
I haven't tested out if it's too waterproof, but it seems like it'll keep out some water. I don't know if it's like a waterproof zipper, but
It'll slow it down.
Resistant.
Yeah.
You got 2 water bottle pockets on the outside. Since Mr. Ranch built it as a civilian pack for skis, you still got your pockets that you can put skis in for mountaineering.
Yeah.
Mountaineering skiing.
Does that pop off? Or
No,
no?
this
The lid.
Pop off. The lid doesn't pop off.
Okay.
It just has a pocket on top and has a deep mesh pocket. You can keep random stuff.
Yeah.
It also has, if you're carrying a radio, and antenna access and dial access and everything.
Nice.
Going to the side, you got your camelback tubes or your antennas, whatever you want to put through there.
Yeah.
Moving towards more of the back.
What's the name of the pack? I mean, it's Mystery Ranch.
It's like the 3-day assault.
Okay.
It's 3-day assault. There's 2 different versions. There's one version that has ribs, one with body armor and better ventilation. This is the standard vanilla.
Okay.
3-day, but I mean it works for me. I didn't need anything fancy.
Nice.
You can get these are optional. You can get the padded ones or unpadded, but they just pull out.
Yeah.
Off the side of the pack. I don't wear a waist belt a lot, but it's always nice to have when I'm carrying a bunch of weight. I mean.
Yeah.
That's it. You got Velcro tabs that protect the Velcro and everything.
That's a solid pack, man.
Yeah.
Now let's look at your sustainable survivability here.
You got a jacket, long underwear, 2 bottles of rum.
2 bottles of rum. Nice. What's the port of origin on that shit?
Puerto Rico.
Nice. You got your
iPad and train records.
Goodness. Cool.
A travel kit.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks for the tour of that fancy pack.
Anytime.
That's a Piglet. Swell fella and all around nice guy. World traveler. Where's your arch, dude? You're killing me.
Keep my secrets.
Oh, all right. All right, so there's a Turley knife.
First impression's got some decent weight to it, good balance. Definitely a hefty blade, good for beating on. Nice bevel, I mean pretty easy to keep that going. The handle, I mean, as far as I know right now, it feels pretty smooth. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get many hot spots if I'm working with it. It feels good in the hand. Full tang. And it's nice woodwork, nice metal work. Is this the original sheath?
I believe so. Yeah, that might have been a custom sheath. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it's a sheath that comes with it, sheath's nice and sturdy. Pretty heavy duty. Doesn't mean it definitely could take take a beating and keep going. Right hand, I'm left-handed, that's my only issue with it. I mean, it's not a left-handed sheath. But the knife itself, I mean, it seems like a good all-around work knife, good camp knife, good survival knife. I'd use it out in the woods. I mean, the pretty stout tip. It doesn't look like it's gonna break off. The blade's not too thin. You know, looks like it'll hold decent edge. I mean, all around, I think it'd be a good fieldcraft knife.
Awesome. So. Now, that one right there was made or designed by a customer, from what I understand, and it's kind of on a little world tour right now. So maybe later today we can get you do a little split wood with that or something.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think of the convex edges, where you would, you know, sand them as opposed to using a stone with a secondary bevel?
I've done both. You know, I've had the full bevel, and then I've also had the different angles.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever your personal preference is. I've seen a lot of guys that like the full bevel. They can sand it down, or they can use like a Japanese whetstone to get down.
Yeah.
I'm not impartial either or. I mean, whatever works for whatever application I'm using.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes it's easier to have a full bevel. Sometimes it's not. You know, I mean, it just depends what you use your knife for and what your preference is. But
gotcha.
To me, I mean, as a survival guy, if it's sharp enough to do the job I want to do, then that's the sharp enough I need the knife for. So, but that's like bare bones survival. Obviously, I want to have it as sharp as I possibly can.
Yeah. Good deal, man. Thank you, sir. All right, we're here with Piglet, and we're going to be talking about improvising. He's going to give you the lowdown on the 5 rules. So go for it.
Initially, I mean, as a survivor, if you find need that you need some piece of equipment that you've lashed in your kit or that you've broken throughout your survival episode, there's going to be a come point that you're going to have to improvise a tool or an item in your kit to replace or fix something. What we teach traditionally is the 5 rules of improvising. The first rule of improvising would be to determine your need. Now, that need is probably going to be issued to you. Whether you lose that item, you break that item, or you figure out, hey, I need to do this. So you automatically, by determining that you need to improvise something, check the block on the first step of determining a need for that item. Once you determine the need and realize what that is, you need to select your inventory of possessions. Go through and look at what material you have. The biggest thing for us when we're looking at as a survivor is if we're looking at man-made and natural materials. Ultimately, you know, man-made is probably going to be easier to work with. It's going to be faster to work with. We're not going to have to procure that item. But on the downside of it, we're going to have limited resources. We're out there in a true survival situation. We want to try to maintain our man-made items for more of a dire use, and maintain their durability and what we have going on with them. So we're going to try to search for natural alternatives. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say you probably can walk around the area that you're surviving in and find a natural resource, whether that be for shelter, fire, tools, something like that. You're going to be able to find that natural resource around you and maintain your man-made materials. But after determining what you have for your possessions, you got to go ahead and select an alternative based on what what materials you have. Now, when I'm considering my alternatives, again, I'm going to look at time, resources, and energy that go into that. I'm not going to build a Taj Mahal shelter if all I need to do is get out of the rain so I can keep on pressing the next day. You know what I mean? How big does my signal need to be? How long has it been since I've last seen rescue? You know, do I have to move? Do I have to need food and water? All these things are going to go into determining what the alternative I'm going to do is. So time, resources, and energy. Once I go into the 4th step of selecting my alternative, I'm going to go ahead and plan and execute that in the 5th step of improvising. And after I improvise that item, I'm going to go ahead and test it and make sure it's durable. Alright, if it's not durable, then obviously I didn't put enough work into it. So the basic rules of improvising is I'm determining a need, inventorying my possessions, I'm going to go ahead and consider my alternatives, select my alternative, and then plan and construct. And always, you know, the sixth rule of improvising is make it cool. So.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
No problem.
All right, we're here with my mate, Piglet, and he's going to lay down the 5 rules of improvising plus the secret 6.
The basic 5 rules of improvising in any survival situation. I got to go as follows. Your first step is determining a need. Once you determine a need to improvise an item, you got to go ahead and inventory possessions. When you're inventorying possessions, make note of natural and man-made materials around you. Once you inventory possessions, you got to go ahead and consider your alternatives based on what your need is and what materials you do have. After we figure out what alternatives we do have, we're going to go to selecting an alternative. That selection is based on time, materials, and resources, and energy. Once we make the final decision of what we're going to do and how we're going to execute that improvisation, we're going to go ahead and plan and construct the final step. So once again, the 5 rules of improvising: determine a need, inventory possessions, consider your alternatives, select alternative based on time, resources, energy, and then plan and construct. And the final secret 6 steps of the 5 rules of improvising: if you're going to make it cool. And that's it.
Okay, Piglet is holding a improvised knife. I determined a need. I needed a cutting edge. So with materials at hand, including pine pitch, I believe that's a willow or sotol handle, a few leather strips, and some cactus skeleton fiber, I improvised a knife and a sheath. So tell me what you think about these 2 items.
For me, looking at them, when you determine a need, you need a cutting tool. This obviously, anyone that knows us into survival knows a good flint chip or good something is going to get it done. The handle looks pretty sound. I mean, the blade looks good. Definitely, you can go ahead and resharpen these if you're savvy in flint knapping. You can go ahead and resharpen as needed, and it's going to get the job done. The sheath itself looks pretty sound. You can put it in there, store it, put it in your pack, do what you need to do, put it in your pocket. Definitely, I mean, it's an improvised sheath, so I mean, it's not going to be like bomber, like a leather sheath or a kydex or anything like that. But for improvised knife, improvised sheath, and you determine a need right there in the field, I mean, what better is there? I mean, I've seen anywhere from woven stuff to 2 planks of wood put together for knife sheaths or whatever. The big rule of improvising is not necessarily how pretty it looks, but does it work? I mean, and it doesn't meet your need, because again, it's still going to take time to build this stuff, and it's how much time do you have and how much resource you get put in to get your need done. And I mean, this is pretty quick, pretty easy to do, and it definitely meets the need, and I'd use it.
Cool. All right, that's $14.95. It's yours.
3 easy installments.
3 easy installments. All right, thanks again, man.